One thing we can all be sure about, life might be different for people, but after death, we're all in the same boat, aren't we? Or are we? Life in Victorian times are very different. I'll show you. Come take a tour. Well, it's 1884, height of Victorian times, Hartshill Cemetery. The land was purchased for the borough of Stoke-on-Trent. Princely cost of, I think it was £3,450. But it's a cemetery with a difference. In Victorian times, people's social classes never really mixed. So it was decided they wouldn't mix in death either. We've got 4 sections of the cemetery: the first class, second class, third class and fourth class. There's also nonconformist and Roman Catholic. There's some very famous graves here. Let's take a look at a few, eh? One of the largest pottery manufacturers in Stoke-on-Trent, Mintons. Colin Minton Campbell. He was the mayor of the borough of Stoke-on-Trent. When was it? About 1883. He had a huge factory in Stoke, employed thousands of people. I'm sure you've all heard of Minton's pottery, Minton's tiles. Minton's tiles are on many floors around the country, around the world. Famous for their high quality. W H Goss. They are famous pottery manufacturers, exported all over the world. He had the Falcon potteries in Stoke, huge bottle ovens, which obviously billowed smoke all over Stoke-on-Trent. So we're in the first class area. It's first class because it was the highest part of the graveyard, so drained well. Then you move down to the second, the third and the fourth right at the bottom. If you're lucky enough to be able to afford a first class or second class plot, then you had your choice. Third and fourth didn't. Henry Charles Farham, Mayor of Stoke-on-Trent, 1893 to 1894. I'll just take a wander over here, some very interesting one, and a very surprising one which I found. Up amongst the first class, one of the first ones in here. Tucked under the trees, been here a good while, but it's one of our ancestors. It's Richard Shenton from Mount Pleasant, and he died 29th of January 1889. He was a landowner, a farmer. He had quite a large farm. So he was lucky enough to be able to afford one of the first class plots. These are interesting too. This is the Patzer family. They ran the North Staffs Hotel, I think it was, in Anley. Sort of a dynasty. We move round here. Look at these two. Wow. Harriet Hall and James Hall. And just over here, something interesting too. There was a publican's plot. Because they were quite, to be a publican in them days, and run a hotel or a pub, you could be quite well off. So yeah, these publicans. Albert Badley from the Roebuck Hotel. And Thomas Chatfield from the Jolly Potters in Hartshill. That's still there. Because we're moving down the bank towards the second class now. Well, we'll just take a slight detour and I'll show you some more interesting ones. Walk up to the lodge. This is where the registrar would work and keep all the registers of deaths, that it's long been abandoned. Shame really, isn't it? I mean, it's a lovely building. See how prominent these memorials are, right on the entrance. Now look at that huge Goss one. Wow, it's magnificent, isn't it? Of course, they had the money. And we're just moving down here to the second class section. Some interesting graves. The Boswell family. They're Romany gypsies. They've got a large plot down here. Magnificent sculptures, aren't they? You know, it's history, this is. So there we go, Hugo Boswell, 1935. My mother used to live near to him, knows them well, because I think he had a home in Stoke towards the end, and they're all the family. The Ashes, another prominent Stoke-on-Trent family. The church grounds were bought to create 15,000 burial plots. And over there, well, we'll walk around there in a bit and take a look at the two chapels. Yeah, sadly, no longer used and fallen into disrepair. Hilda, dearly loved wife of Horace Commissal of Penkle, because we're actually in Penkle. And we're down to the third class section now. The ground would be a bit damper here, so that's why if you got the money, you'd be buried at the top where it's nice and dry. Not that it matters, does it? Ah, there's not one over here that always interests me. The Mintons. Now, the Mintons were stonemasons. And can't you tell? Just look at that. I say they're fantastic pieces of art, aren't they? All tucked away in the undergrowth. The Stringer family, they seem to be quite prominent in the area. This member of the Stringer family lived in the villas. The villas is just a short distance away. It was a very high class area, houses and private lane. They do look like villas, marvellous houses, because they were for the well-off, the pottery manufacturers, their workers, the designers. Ah, this just caught my eye. Alfred Reynolds, the late Commander George Reynolds, Royal Navy, born April 1st of April 1818, died January 1891, age 72. So here we are, back to the old chapels. Let's take a closer look, eh? Quite interesting. The chapel on the left was nonconformist, and the one on the right, Church of England. We'll have a look around the other side. They're beautiful old buildings. I think they're on the at-risk register, so they need something doing with them. Yeah, look at, just Google Goss. You'll find there's lots of pottery. Yeah, you'll be surprised. Exported worldwide again. Yeah, so just look at the size of that. So there you are. You've had a tour of Hartshill Cemetery in Stoke-on-Trent. Hope you found it interesting. Quite historic with some famous people here. Then in the end, Doesn't matter if you're famous or not famous, does it? Thanks again for watching. Bye. I better just clean relations to moth.